welcome to Rock Painting 101. I am Susie and I'm the hands behind a lot of the rock painting tutorials, but today I am just going to give you a run through of some of my favorite supplies that I use for painting rocks that I consider to be where you need to get started if you've never painted rocks before. So these are considered our 5 must look at items to start painting rocks. So the first thing that we have on our list is the obvious, maybe to a lot of people, is rocks. So rocks come in lots of different sizes and textures and colors. The main place I like to go to find my rocks is a landscaping supply store. So if you're driving down the highway or on the side of the road and you see the place that has the big bins of mulch and rocks, that's the best place to get the best bang for your buck, for your dollar or your buck, to get rocks, because you can go in. A lot of times they'll let you dig through and pick out the rocks you like, so you can get different shapes. You can try to find nice flat ones. They also sometimes have bags of rocks that you can grab. These were kind of bags that they had there. I wanted white and a dark just so I could have different contrast, and I don't have to base coat these as often. You can also order rocks online. Amazon has lots of different rocks. I go to Amazon when I'm trying to find small mini rocks. These are the ones I use when I do a lot of little games and bags for my little kids. The second thing that I suggest for people that have never painted rocks before, I love Acrylic Paint pens. Now, these are something that you may not be familiar with if you've never really done a lot of arts and crafts. They are water-based, non-toxic paint pens. So they do have a lot of capabilities as far as you can blend with them, that you can kind of mix the colors on the rocks sometimes. They dry fast, so you can get different layers going on your rocks. The first pack that I purchased was a multi-pack, so you got 3 different sizes. And I'm just gonna show you here kind of the difference and how they just go on nice and smooth here on a piece of paper. I've got medium fine tip and extra fine tip. And you can see just right there, there's the difference of size tips. So since they're water-based, you can clean the tips. They are a little more pricey, but I bought the multi-pack. I've only replaced 2 pens ever in my arsenal, and it's the extra fine white and the extra fine black, because I use that a lot for lining and words. They get a lot more use than my other pens. The other thing that we have in that same area on the page are what Pigma Micron pens. Now there's 2 different packs that you can get. One pack will come in lots of different size tips. They go all the way, the largest one is 0.05 on here, and the smallest one here, oh, I don't even think I've got the smallest one right now. I think there might be one a tad bit smaller than this. And let me get this one. And then they also have a one that's called the PN. It's a little bit thicker, but the pack comes with multiples of that size. So it's a little easier to use on the rock. So I've just kind of doodled a little bit. So you can see you can get some extra fine lines. So that's the differences in sizes. That pack comes in multiple sizes. This is the PN one where you get, I think, 3 of the same size. They're great for lining and adding little details onto your rocks. Now, if you're going to go onto your rocks with paint, you've got to get acrylic paint, works best. There's 2 different styles of paints that you're gonna see in the store. One will come in little tubes like this. You can pick all different colors, shades. Some of them will be metallic. Get a middle grade, price-wise, Craftsmart, Apple Barrel. Those are both great brands that you can grab. If you go with the really cheap brands of paint, sometimes they're a little more watery, so you'll end up doing multiple coats, which can get frustrating and it can mess up your paintings a little bit. There's also more of a tube style paint. Now I've bought 1 pack of these. I've never had to replace any of them yet. You don't have to use a lot. A little goes a long way, but it's quite a bit thicker. But it works great for base coating your rocks. See, I've kind of squeezed that there. See how thick and luscious that paint is? So they're great for base coating rocks. And you can thin them out a little bit with water or with a flow agent to use them for everyday painting as well. Number 3 on the list is accessories, right? You need stuff to paint with. Brushes, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Your first set of brushes, don't spend an arm and a leg. Wait to make sure that this is something you love, whether you're going to use brushes or pens. Brushes come in a lot of different price points. And the more you spend, usually the bristles are a little softer. They'll leave less lines when you're painting and things like that. You'll want to get a larger brush for doing base coating if you're going to base coat. And then get a pack that has some smaller tips and things like this that you can do some more details and things like that. You can get all the way down. I mean, some of the brushes in these sets are teeny tiny tips. If you're going to do fine lines and details, you can get some teeny tiny tips in those. The other thing you're going to need is paint palettes. Now, I don't purchase paint palettes. It's not something I've ever bought. I don't even have them in the shop because I feel like there's lots of things around your house that you can use them for. I like to use jar lids, and I put my paint right on there. It dries solid. You can use them over and over again. Just start collecting your jar lids from when you finish off all your holiday stuff, pickles, olives, all that stuff. Just save them. You can use them over and over again. And then I have my classic, and if you've been watching my videos a long time, you've seen me pull this guy out. Love it. You know, if it's part of your set, don't do this. It doesn't always come back off, but I keep this plate with me crafting. I've got a couple of them left. The next thing you need is something to seal your rocks, especially if you're going to be putting them outside in the elements. Even if you're just planning on keeping it for a long period of time, a nice coat to seal your rocks is important. Now, the style of sealer you want is kind of up to you. For the longest time, I only used a spray-on sealer because I paint a lot of rocks. So I would wait till I had a whole, piece of cardboard full of rocks, and I could just spray and seal my rocks a whole bunch at the same time. If you're going with a spray sealer, make sure of two things. Make sure it's a UV resistant type sealer, because that will help your rocks from yellowing, and you want to get something that is, see, this says moisture resistant as well. You just want something that will kind of help protect it from the elements. Now you have to be able to do this in a well-ventilated area. If it's too cold where you're at, or you don't have the place to do that, you can also get a brush-on sealer. I have been using this a little bit more often. A little bit goes a long way. This little bottle will last you longer than you would think. It really goes on nice and smooth. As long as you let your rocks dry really well, and most of the things won't run when you use this. So a good sealer is something that you need to really help protect all that hard work that you're putting into your rocks. So those are the 5 main things that you need to look into when you're going to start painting rocks. However, rock painting can go all different directions, all different ways. There's going to be plenty more things that you're going to want to look at. And I use some other products in my videos, so I've got a few of them here that we have in our Amazon shop that just kind of, we can put any little thing that we decide that you might want. Like, once you get into the pens, trust me, you're gonna wanna buy more. Like, they have glitter pens. Glitter pens are my daughter's favorite. Any rock that I put glitter pens on, she wants to keep it. You can also get little Q-tips that have really fine points that you can get in there and kind of clean up when you make a mistake. You can get carbon paper if you're not great at lettering or you wanna draw outlines. Carbon paper can be your best friend. You can even go as far as using colored pencils on your rocks. Really, it's limitless once you start this fun hobby. So make sure that you get some good supplies to get you started. You can head to the Amazon shop for more ideas of things that you may want to do. And heck, if you really get into rock painting like me, you can head to our Etsy shop. This could be considered a supply, right? And get some fun t-shirts that you can wear while you're rock painting as well. So I hope this helped answer some of your questions, and I hope that you really start enjoying and painting rocks, because it's a great way to spread kindness all around. So everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you all soon.